It was like somebody had taken the noose off my neck and I didn't have any more throbbing. My body was relaxed. I could finally wake up in the morning and feel like getting up. I was no longer depressed. I was excited about my day. And it was at that point that I made the decision that instead of giving drugs to people, I was going to give life. Growing up, I had allergies and sinus infections, ear infections, digestive issues, and eventually headaches. And because of this, my mom was always in and out of the pediatrician's office with me. Growing up, I thought this was a normal thing. I actually rattled when I walked because I had a bottle of Tylenol or aspirin in my pocket for my headaches. I thought it was normal when in reality, is it really normal for an 8-year-old kid to have Tylenol in their pocket? Is there something wrong with thinking that that's normal? Eventually, as many times as I was in and out of the doctor's office, I began to start thinking that there was really something wrong with me. As I got older, the headaches got worse and worse. I gravitated towards wanting to help people with problems like mine and figured this thing out, so I went to medical school. By the time I started medical school, the headaches were worse than ever before. They'd progressed into migraine headaches. It felt like somebody had a vice grip just squeezing my skull and smashing it. The throbbing was so bad, it was like somebody was constantly just stomping on my head. I'd wake up feeling tired, frustrated, and depressed because nothing was working. While I was in school, I had test after test done. I had MRIs done, CAT scans, blood tests, allergies, you name it. The result was still the same. Finally, I was diagnosed with chronic, incurable migraine headaches. In other words, they said that they'd given up on me. There was nothing else that medicine had to offer me. I was totally now dependent on drugs just to live and get through the day. I had exhausted everything that they had to give to me. My sister, thank goodness, started telling me about this chiropractor that she'd been seeing. I was thinking, you know what, I knew everything because I was in medical school, but by this time I'd tried everything else, so I decided to give it a try. I went to this chiropractor and he showed me with an x-ray how the nerves in my neck were literally being strangled and twisted by the vertebra in my neck. Just like this. The pain in my head wasn't actually being caused because of my head, it was actually right here in my neck. He started doing very specific adjustments on my neck, and finally it was like somebody had taken the noose off my neck. And it was at that point that I made the decision that instead of giving drugs to people, I was going to give life. I went as fast as I could to chiropractic school and I've never looked back. I grew up in a spiritual home and believe that each and every one of us is designed for a purpose, including you. And mine is to help people get healthy and to give life, not medication. Because of my sister, now my purpose is your benefit. And at Elevation Health, we're constantly innovating and searching for ways to get better results for you and to reach more people just like me. One of the ways that we do this is through our Dinner with the Doc program. This is the opportunity for you to learn more about health and healing, and is also your opportunity to teach your friends and your family members what we do here at Elevation Health in a calm and relaxed environment. See, at this dinner, you and your family members and your friends, you're going to be fed a great meal and you're going to receive life-changing information about health and healing. You and your friends are going to learn what the top 3 killers are and how to prevent them from happening to you. You're going to be educated on what health really is, just like I was. These are the things that your medical doctor will never teach you and doesn't really want you to know. You know, who do you know that needs this information? This is the opportunity for you to get them into the office. Invite them to the dinner. Everybody has somebody that they're thinking of, people who have things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, allergies, whether they're seasonal or not. Do you know somebody who's always complaining about a health issue? Maybe somebody that you work with, that person that sits next to you that says, you know what, I always catch everything. When the weather changes, I get something. How would that feel for you to know that you changed that person's life and you changed that person's future? The vision of Elevation Health is to ignite the healthcare revolution, one family and one community at a time. These people deserve to have a better quality of life, and you can help us make that difference. If you're watching this online, make sure that you go to elevationhealth.com, select the nearest location to you, get registered for that location. If you're a patient watching this in one of our offices, go to the front desk, register your friends, your family members to this this important dinner. Again, my name is Dr. Rob from Elevation Health. Have a great day.
You're watching 12 to Your Health on News 12 New Jersey. I'm Carissa Lawson. Dr. DeSilva will be along in our next segment. Chiropractors. Many people love and swear by them, but a large portion of the population still isn't sold. Perhaps they had a bad experience with one particular doctor, or they just don't understand this branch of the healing arts. So here to address the myths and misconceptions of what chiropractors do and to show us some of the technologies chiropractors are using is Dr. Patrick Gentempo, owner of the Chiropractic Leadership Alliance in Morristown and creator of what you are seeing before us right here, some technology. But before we get to all of this, talk a little bit about the misconceptions.
There's a lot of misconceptions about chiropractic that you hear along the way. A lot of people think that we're about back and neck pain exclusively, which although chiropractic is extremely effective for back and neck pain, it really has been discovered years ago and developed over the years as something that supports general health and well-being in a very unique way.
And you often have heard that chiropractors, they're not real doctors. Right. And of course, it is a branch of the healing arts. Yeah. Talk a little bit about that. How do you respond to that?
Well, I guess it depend on what your definition of a real doctor is. I think what people mean by that is we're not medical doctors. And no, we're actually an exception to the Medical Practice Act. We're not even a subspecialty of medicine like maybe podiatry might be. And it's nothing, there's no judgment on that bad or good. But we have a distinct philosophy, we have a distinct science and a distinct art as far as how we approach health and healing and patient care.
Well, how does it get beyond the back? Because a lot of people just think, I have back problems, maybe I can see a chiropractor, but it's more than just going about your back.
That's right. Well, most people come in many times for back problems originally. That's what drives them to the chiropractor. Although in my own practice experience, I've had people come in that were having challenges that weren't getting solved in the medical realm. And it's really important to understand, chiropractic is not all competitive with medicine, and I think that's what a lot of people see. Oh, well, you know, one might not like the other. I work very well with medical colleagues that are out there where we share patients, and with my unique approach towards how I would handle patient care, it added something to the dimension of that patient's care that a medical doctor doesn't do.
So it's sort of complementary.
It is, in a sense, it's complementary and it's unique and different. I mean, ideally, chiropractic is more proactive in its care. In other words, let's not wait for you to get sick and try to do something. Let's keep you healthy so you don't have to become a customer of the sick care system. Medicine is really sick care. It's allopathic. People get sick and they want to diagnose and treat diseases. Chiropractic, although it's very supportive of people who might have lost their health in such a way, what it really is about is keeping you healthy so you don't need drugs, you don't need surgery. It's more proactive in its stance. And now with this whole wellness revolution that is coming into the world, chiropractic is really kind of expanding and growing because we have such great training. We don't do drugs and surgery, we don't get that training in school, nor do we want it. But what we want to do is know more about nutrition, know more about exercise, know more about lifestyle choices. And it really boils down to this essential thing. Everybody knows that lifestyle stress adversely affects your health.
Sure.
But what lies in the middle of those two things, you got the stress in your life over here, which at this point is overwhelming, bad economy, war, terrorism, all the stuff that's going on. And then on this side, you have your health. People know that stress adversely affects their health, but what lies in between those two things is a thing called your nervous system. How stress is processed and managed is through the nervous system. You live your life through your nervous systems. So what chiropractors do is evaluate your nervous system, see how stress is affecting that, and if it's causing disturbance in how your nervous system functions, we want to release those disturbances so your body can heal and regulate.
So there's a lot going on there.
Oh, there's a lot going on.
And there's a lot going on here.
Yes.
What is this technology we're looking at?
Well, that's exactly the purpose of the technology. What I would do with the technology is measure varying aspects of neural performance or nervous system performance in your body. So I can see, is your nervous system balanced and healthy, or is it under too much stress and you're succumbing to it?
SEMG is one of the things
Surface
here.
electromyography.
Is that it? Yeah.
So basically,
and we have some video too that we're showing
folks. These are the
folks.
sensors that we would use for that. And basically, what we're doing here is we're measuring the electrical activity that's given off by muscles around your spine to see how muscle energy is being distributed around your spine. If it's efficient or inefficient, it will affect not only how your spine is functioning, but it will affect how your whole body is functioning.
And that's fairly new. And there's also rolling thermal as well, right?
Infrared thermal scanning. Basically, we can look at skin temperature patterns, and if your autonomic system, which is the part of your nervous system which regulates the organs and glands of your body, if it's disturbed, we can see that.
And we're looking at video of it, too.
Yeah, you can see it here. It's a quick test. It takes 20 seconds to roll up the spine, completely non-invasive, but will tell us if your nervous system is under stress and dysfunctioning, or if it's functioning in a balanced and harmonious way.
Okay. A lot of folks also often think that once you go to a chiropractor, you have to keep going for life.
Yeah. The answer to that question is, of course, you don't have to do anything.
Right.
But it's like saying once you go to the gym, you have to keep going back. Once you eat healthy, do you have to keep eating healthy? It's a lifestyle, and that's the difference. Chiropractic isn't about treating specific conditions, although we really help support people who have many kinds of challenges. I've had patients come to me with a variety of challenges like cancer, like ADD, like asthma. I don't treat any of those conditions. No chiropractor does, but we can give them lifestyle support to help them better address whatever their challenges might be. So the answer is, if you want to have a healthy lifestyle, chiropractic is a critical component of that lifestyle.
A lot of people don't get that.
Right.
A lot of people really don't. And that's one of the reasons why you want to talk about this and sort of clear all that up.
Absolutely. And again, what's terrific about it is that it is unique. In other words, there's nobody else that does what a chiropractor does. Some people say, oh, well, I get a massage, or I do this, I do that. What we do is unique, and these other things support what we do, but there's only one place to get what we do, and that's at the chiropractor's office.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, fantastic.